Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for IPDay's Webinar Wednesday. My name is Tiffany Voss. I serve as the Director of Strategic Initiatives for the Florida Ready to Work program. And I am so excited to bring you our presentation today, Maximizing Florida Ready to Work in Adult Education Programs. So I'd love to start just by thanking Tammy and the team at IPDay for having me today. I really appreciate the opportunity to share with you guys what Florida Ready to Work is, some of the new enhancements that we've had over the last year, and of course, how to implement Florida Ready to Work in your adult education programs. I'd love to start with a quick question and a quick poll. So a poll is going to launch up in your Zoom app right now about, are you currently using Florida Ready to Work? I'd love to hear who out there is already using it and looking for new ideas, and those of you who maybe have never heard of it and are looking to learn some more. So you'll that while I go over some quick housekeeping. If you have a question today, please feel free to drop that in the Q&A and I will address those at the end of the presentation. You are going to be in listen only mode this afternoon. But again, use that Q&A to ask any questions that you have. This presentation is for you. So I want to be sure to answer any questions that you might have and address any of those issues that you're thinking about. Of course, the presentation today is being recorded and it will be available on the IPDay website within 48 hours. So quick overview, we're going to give an overview of Florida Ready to Work today. I'm going to talk about the new features, dive into adult education implementation, talk about some promising practices that are happening across the state, of course, give you some opportunity for questions and answers, and then of course, talk about next steps and how to get started. So looking at the poll, it looks like a quarter of you are using Florida Ready to Work. But the majority of you have heard of it, but not necessarily are using it. So I'm going to spend just a few extra minutes really talking about what Florida Ready to Work is, so you guys have a good basis of what's happening and what the program entails. And then, of course, hang on with me, my folks that are using the program. I am going to get to those new enhancements and how to better maximize what you've got. So thank you so much for the poll, and we will dive into the presentation. So Florida Ready to Work, we are the state of Florida's official state-sponsored career readiness training and credentialing solution. We are actually in state statute. The Florida Department of Commerce administers this program, and they administer this program because it's important. Employers across the state are continuing to ask for individuals who are prepared for work and have those employability skills that are needed to be successful in jobs today. And that is where our adult education programs come in to assist with providing and building up that workforce. So Florida Ready to Work consists of 3 solutions: digital skills, soft skills, and academic employability skills. And I'm going to go into each of those for you today. So this program is delivered in partnership with high schools, adult education programs, state colleges, technical colleges, apprenticeship programs, local workforce development boards. We're in juvenile justice and corrections facilities as well. Of course, we also work directly with employers and community-based organizations. Anyone in the state of Florida who is helping a learner or a job seeker build up their skills so that they can go on for career readiness, Florida Ready to Work is for you. I mentioned we're administered by the Florida Department of Commerce, and through competitive procurement, Win Learning is the company that manages Florida Ready to Work. So myself and my team, we're a part of the Win Learning team, and Win Learning is the solution behind Florida Ready to Work when you log into our program. So let's go a little bit deeper and let's learn about each of our solutions. Of course, if you have questions along the way, please feel free to put them in the chat or Q&A, and I'll try to address those as I go as well. So digital skills. What do we know about our adult learners? If they can't use a computer, they're not going to be successful in 2025 in applying for a job or keeping a job. So making sure that our adult learners have those foundational skills and the opportunity to train and take on those advanced learning is critical. So we've taken digital skills and made it career contextualized. So the learner going through our program is really going to learn about how to use a computer and electronic devices in a workplace setting. We've divided that into 5 modules. First being computer operations. What is a computer? What is a mouse versus a trackpad? How do you turn on the computer? Where's your settings button? Things like what Microsoft means. All of those things that sometimes we take for granted if we've been in the workplace for a long time, that maybe some of our adult learners and folks who are coming back into the workforce may not understand. Additionally, we have internet browsing, which is where individuals not only learn how to Google, but understand what the difference between a .com, a .gov, and a .org is, and how do they make critical thinking skills based on what those websites are. So understanding that when you go to a .edu, that's something coming from an education source, or .gov is coming from the government, helping individuals make those critical decisions. We also talk about appropriate use of the internet in a workplace setting. Digital communications is also really important. There are so many ways to communicate digitally in 2025. It's important that individuals understand which mode of communication to use for the message they're trying to deliver. Maybe you have the relationship with your boss that you can text that you're a few minutes late, but it's never okay to use text messaging or social media that you quit. So helping the learner understand when to use what mode is really important. Digital documents, walking through all of the different type of documents, whether it's Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and understanding when to use those documents for what message you're trying to deliver, and understanding how to save them, how to share them, how to collaborate on them. All really important when you get into the workplace. Additionally, we have digital security, which is really a life skill these days. Understanding why it's so important to have secure passwords, understanding what phishing and privacy or phishing and scamming opportunities look like, how to prevent those and how to be aware of those in the workplace. Also making sure you're keeping your workplace devices safe. All of this is available through Florida Ready to Work as an online training. So your learners take a pre-test to understand where they're at with their skills currently with digital skills. They go through the training and they take a post-test for each module. Earning an 80% or above on each of our post-tests is indication that they're ready to sit for the Florida Ready to Work assessment to then go on and earn that credential. I'm going to ask for some thumbs up. I'm seeing that maybe some folks can't hear me. Is that everyone or just one? All right, I'm going to keep trucking, but if you can't, just let me know. So our next solution, and probably our most popular solution, is our soft skills solution. This is what's being used most widely across the state right now. And this is just like it sounds, those really professional development skills that sometimes folks are just not learning, or maybe an individual is coming to you in your adult ed program after being out of the workplace for a long time and really needs some refresher. We break down soft skills as communicating effectively, which is just like it sounds, being able to talk with folks in front of you, not just standing up and giving a presentation, but really being able to take that constructive feedback in a workplace, being able to have email etiquette, social media etiquette, cell phone etiquette, but also customer service, really being able to communicate well and present yourself accordingly. Conveying professionalism is just like it sounds, being dependable, having a courteous attitude, having those personal accountability and time management skills. Promoting teamwork and collaboration is really being able to come together in a group, work together to solve problems and do what's right for the organization you're working for. Thinking critically and solving problems. This one's my personal favorite because we all know there's not a job from Burger King to working in the emergency room that you don't have to think on your feet and be ready to solve a problem critically and come to a solution to your employer. What I love about soft skills and what most of our users love about soft skills is, again, this is career contextualized. But when users are going through, learners are going through this courseware and they're taking the assessment, they're given the opportunity to put themselves in a workplace setting, and they have to choose the best way to handle the situation and the worst way to handle the situation. And sometimes there's a lot of not so great ways to handle it. And you really have to think about what the very worst way is and what the best way is. So it really puts the learner into that setting, helping them really kind of connect to that career contextualized setting. So soft skills, again, is a great complement to what you're already doing in your adult education programs, but helping them really kind of mold those ideas and getting them ready for those work-based learning opportunities. Now, academic employability skills is my absolute favorite for adult learners because this really complements all the things you guys are already working on. But again, a career contextualized setting. I had an adult learner tell me, or adult learner educator tell me one time that their students really loved academic employability skills because they hated math and reading in school. But when they went through Florida Ready to Work, they were able to understand why math and reading comprehension was so important because it put it into that setting that they could relate to and help them understand why they were going to need it in the workplace. So when we talk about work ready math, we really go into things like percentages, calculating cost, verifying the accuracy of transactions, reading comprehension. We talk about things like HR memos. We talk about technical manuals, really being able to read and comprehend those. And of course, work ready data really helps individuals look at work-related graphs, charts, tables, being able to infer the information that is there and make critical decisions based on what you're seeing. Unique to Florida Ready to Work, and I think one of the reasons why folks love us so much is our unique alignment to ONET. So the U.S. Department of Labor's occupational network, ONET, is leveled up into job zones. What we know about those job zones is that levels are, a level 1 might be a dishwasher or a landscaper. A level 5 might be a doctor or a lawyer, and folks are going to land somewhere in between. We know that most jobs are in levels 1, 2, or 3. And when we're trying to get individuals ready for the workforce, we want to make sure that they've got those levels. So as individuals are working through Florida Ready to Work academic employability skills, they're working on levels. So you can see here, these levels align directly to the job zones. So if an individual is working on courseware in level 1, that means they're working on math, reading, and data analysis skills that are needed for a job in job zone 1. Additionally, if you're working on level 2, that's working on jobs that are needed for a level 2, level 3, and level 4. You guys get the picture. So it really helps the individuals see where they're at and then understand where they're going. So when you're in academic employability skills, you take a placement test. That placement test determines if you're at a level 1 or a level 4 for math, reading, or data, and then you work your way through the courseware before you get ready to take the assessment. So just as a kind of a wrap up before I get into implementation, as a reminder, Florida Ready to Work is 2 parts. So we've got the online training that I've really talked to you a lot about, being able to go through those modules, get in depth with the training that's there, understanding the courseware. Of course, we've got pre-test, we've got post-test for all of these. Additionally, you've got videos along the way, check your knowledge along the way, opportunities to really kind of engage with the individual. And sneak peek, I'm going to show you some more with academic employability skills as well. But it's a great supplement to all the in-person teaching that you guys are doing in your adult education programs. And then the second part of the program is the proctored assessment. And that's the really exciting part. So your students take the assessment and they earn Florida Ready to Work credentials, which is so important, right? It's a great opportunity for them to show that they've mastered those skills. They can put it on their resume. They can show a future employer that, hey, I have the skills that are needed for soft skills, digital skills, and here I am, a level 2, ready to take on my next job. It's a great opportunity for them to just really get that pat on the back. All of our credentials are state-sponsored and nationally endorsed. You can see here they're signed by the governor. And again, they're available digitally, or you can print them out for your students. I also like to add that the credentials, they can continue to earn them. They can continue to work their way up when it comes to academic employability skills. But it's just a really great opportunity for students to get their name on it and to really be able to kind of move forward. But giving the assessment is completely up to you as the instructor. You can do that in person or virtually. You just go through a training with our team, which I'll talk about in just a little bit. Great question about job zones. We actually have a link within Florida Ready to Work that takes you directly to ONET. But if you go to ONET online, just type that into Google, that'll take you directly to ONET's website as well. So let's talk about the new features. For my friends who have heard about Florida Ready to Work, maybe you've had it, but you're not quite using it. I'd love to share with you the new features that we've launched this year. So in August, we went live with our brand new academic employability skills courseware, and we have done a lot of really great updates. Anybody who's currently using the program, feel free to pipe in on the chat. I think our new courseware really speaks for itself about how exciting it is. We've done a deeper connection to ONET. There's more robust learning components, and it's got a really new modern look and feel. So the deeper alignment to own it. So we have gone really deep. We've got realigned to own it. If you know anything about own it, you know it's constantly updating and changing. So we've done a new update to that. Additionally, we've added videos throughout all of the content that hit each of the career clusters. So my favorite example is Ava the carpenter. First of all, you don't normally hear about an Ava as a carpenter. So it's super exciting that we've really found folks that are maybe not your traditional look and feel for a job. So there's some career exploration components, but it's understanding how that individual uses math, reading, and data analysis in their job. And it's a great opportunity for your students to really see themselves, picture themselves in different types of careers, but also get them to expose to things that they may never have heard of before, all while understanding those foundational math, reading, and data analysis skills. The other thing we've done is we've adapted an I do, we do, you do learning instruction module. So we go through and it's an I do, so a more thorough, explicit, direct instruction. Then we do, where the learner gets some specific feedback. You can kind of see that here. And then, of course, you do, which is a practice engine. So we've offered more questions and more opportunities for individuals to do that. All of these courses are available through floridareadytowork.com. As soon as you sign up, you and your learners will have access to them. So again, we listened, we heard our users across the state, really across the country, about improving the learner experience. So we have a practice question like this, you'll see here. But then what we heard was we need more feedback. Why are our learners getting it wrong? Helping them understand where the correct answer was. So now, after a learner takes one of our practice questions, they're not only going to get yes or no, they got it right, but they're going to understand why B was correct and why A, C, and D were incorrect. Just really more real-time feedback as that user is going through and taking those practice questions so they can really make sure they've understood the content and they're able to apply it moving forward. Additionally, many of our users, when they were taking the post-test, told us, well, yeah, you told me that I got some wrong, but I don't really know why. What we've done here now is we've gone through lesson by lesson on the post-test so users can see what they got right with the green check and what they got wrong with the red check. It's really, again, giving the users that real-time feedback, improving their learning experience so they can stay motivated to keep going through the courseware and get ready for the assessment. Of course, we've also added more questions. Based on feedback from users we wanted to make sure that we had more opportunities for users to practice the skills. So right now, there's one practice engine per lesson. There's 5 required questions that the student will have to take. They can take them, get them right, and move on with their lives, or if they want more practice, they can take some more. It's really up to them, and those questions circulate through. So it's an opportunity for your students to get more practice as they continue to go through the questions and whatnot. So objective-based reports. So this is for my educators out there. You guys asked for this. A lot of individuals were saying, it's really great that my students are doing well, that they've done on the post test, but I need to see how they did on the post test. A score isn't telling me where they need to go through. So earlier this year, back in November, we launched objective-based reporting, and we do that on a summary level, an individual level, a learner listing level, and of course a class level as well. This allows you as the instructor to really deep dive into the students' learning. You can see where they got questions right and what objectives they got wrong, so that you as the instructor can either tell them to go back into the training or you can address that as a whole group. So the summary report, you'll see here, if you open up the summary, everyone in your school through the month range that you select will show up here. The green shows you the number of students who got that objective right on the pretest. Then here on the pretest, you'll also see what students got that particular objective, didn't get it the first time on the pretest. The second column is for our post-test. So at the end of each module, there's a post-test. And you'll see here that individuals in green got that right. Individuals in red did not. And then, of course, broken down on the assessment as well. So that's super exciting. So not only will you see it in the pre-test and the post-test, but you'll also see how well they did on the assessment, objective by objective. Again, this summary report is looking at everybody in your school. When you break that down and you click on any of these numbers, that number will then break you down into a learner listing. So then you can see here the actual students who got this particular question wrong, if you clicked red or green, and then you can dig deeper into those learners. You can also do that by class. So you can see here, this is the quality assurance class. There's 2 students in there. 1 student has taken the test, 1 student has not. And then of course, this is an individual report. So this is for 1 student, and you'll see here if they got the objective correct on the pretest, correct on the post-test, and how they did on the assessment. Green means they got it right, red means they got it wrong, check means they got it right, X means they got it wrong. So we really tried hard to make this super easy for you guys, for you really to be able to dig deep with your students and be able to see what they got right and what you need to work with them on. So I'm gonna pause for just a second, look at these questions in the chat. So where do the students see in the Ready to Work post-test? That is a great question. So this individual report on how the student did, they actually have access to their own individual report too. So if the student is logged in, they can go to reports and they can see their objective-based reporting. These courses are available for nonprofit organizations. I'm going to tell you how to contact us at the end of the presentation. And I think I've answered Ms. Summers' question as well. So the students getting the feedback, of course, they get it in real time when they're going through the courseware, like I mentioned. But the objective-based report, they just go to their report section and select objective-based reports, and they're going to get exactly what you see on screen. So let's roll in to adult education implementation. So I will tell you, adult educators are my favorite, whether you're in a traditional adult education program, a state college, or a technical college. Adult education is where I feel like Florida Ready to Work is the best fit, because you guys are working with adult learners who don't want things gamified. They really want to understand how what they're learning is going to apply in the career setting when they get into the workplace. And that is what Florida Ready to Work is specifically designed for, is to help an individual get career ready and be ready to succeed. So some things and ways to implement. So what we've done is we have aligned the Florida Ready to Work curriculum to the Florida Adult Education Employability Curriculum Framework. So I'm going to walk through that with you, but you can see exactly step by step, and I've got that as a printout for you guys if you're interested, each of the curriculum alignments and where that aligns with Florida Ready to Work. Additionally, you can incorporate Florida Ready to Work into your IET plans, and we're going to walk through that as well. So let's talk about the Adult Education Employability Frameworks. You can find this on the Florida Department of Education website. It's under the Adult Education Curriculum Frameworks, and it's right here, Employability Skills Standards. This is what that document looks like. I know IPDAY and the team on IPDAY is very familiar with that because they worked on it together. And this is what the first page of that looks like. So taking from our crosswalk, so that first standard is critical thinking. So what we've done is we've gone through all of the Florida Ready to Work learning courseware, the training, and we've told you which lessons go over critical thinking. So of course, in math and in data, you're going to hit critical thinking. Of course, soft skills, where it's called thinking critically and solving problems, lessons 2 and 4 are a great place to start with that. And then digital skills training as well. So this will align you directly with what you're looking for. We've got interpersonal skills. That's our soft skills, promoting teamwork and collaboration, communicating effectively, and of course, digital communication and digital documents as well. Moving into the next one, we have our personal qualities. That's when students demonstrate responsibility, self-discipline, flexibility, and integrity, willingness to work in a team. That's our soft skills, conveying professionalism and communicating effectively. And then, of course, we've got our digital skills training, internet browsing, digital communication, digital documents, and digital security. Workplace resource management, again, that takes us back into academic employability skills, work-ready math 1 through 5, and then our work-ready basics. I think I forgot to mention basics, but if you have a learner who's not quite at level 1 yet when it comes to academic employability skills, we also offer some remedial training. We call that work-ready basics. That's counting time, telling money, basic charts and graphs when it comes to data, and really basic reading comprehension skills to help build that learner up and get them ready to go into the level 1 training for Florida Ready to Work. Of course, resource management is soft skills and digital skills as well. Breaking that down into information use, of course, we've got more of our work ready data, work ready reading, thinking critically and solving problems, and internet browsing. Moving on to communication, of course, reading levels 1 through 5, individuals have got to be able to read and have those comprehension skills to succeed with communication. Of course, our communication effectively model and digital communication. Systems thinking, again, just breaking through. I've got all of this broken out for you into a handout that I believe IFDA is going to have available. If not, you can get that from our website, floridareadytowork.com, or I'm happy to email it to you as well. And then, of course, incorporating into your IET plan. So the folks at DOE are fantastic. They saw our solution, realized it's a state-sponsored program, and Florida Ready to Work will count as a part of your workforce preparation activities. Now, if you're familiar with IET, you know you go to the IFDA website to fill out your new IET plan. And here's a look at when you're doing your IET request application. So you can see here, actually, Florida Ready to Work is one of the questions that you answer. So if you are offering the opportunity for students to earn a Florida Ready to Work credential as a part of your IET program, you can select it here and let DOE know that you're helping your students build those foundational employability skills. And you can do that with 1 credential, 2 credentials, or all 3 credentials. It's very flexible and whatever works best for you. Additionally, when you get through, you're going to get to workforce preparation activities. This is where Florida Ready to Work comes in. So if you're using Florida Ready to Work and you've got an IET program, these are the skills that you're going over in Florida Ready to Work, and it's a great opportunity for you to use a free program that your students can go through that's not only going to benefit them with career contextualized training, but also a checkbox for you as you're putting together the IET program. So that's part of your workforce preparation activities. This slide is just a sample of what students may, or what you as the instructor may put as part of workforce preparation activities, you know, why they're using soft skills and digital skills, and how that's going to help them with their foundational employability skills as well. So promising practices. So I have been doing this for a little while, and I know that when I talk about it, of course, you guys know that this is what I talk about all day long, but I love to share organizations across the state who are using Florida Ready to Work and using it successfully. So if you know anything about Lori Benjamin, she's a force to be reckoned with in the adult education world. She's done a lot of really great work. And her program is using Florida Ready to Work as a part of their IET and pre-apprenticeship programs. In fact, she is weaving that into the model to make sure that all of her students have those foundational digital skills, those really critical soft skills prior to exiting her program. And for the students who need it, she's also having them go through academic employability skills. She's one of the folks who told me what a difference this is having with her students. Her students have had such positive feedback to Florida Ready to Work. It's really helping them get engaged, be excited about going through the education program again, and really being able to learn those skills where they're at and how they're doing. Another great promising practice is our friends over at South Dade Technical College. They are actually using Florida Ready to Work. They were one of our first IET programs using the program, and they're using the soft skills and digital skills as a part of their phlebotomy IET, and I believe they're kind of moving that into some other IET programs as well. But you can see here some of their successful students holding their soft skills credential. They actually sent us a video a year or so ago with one of their students sharing how excited they were to have earned the soft skills credential. And it's just so heartwarming because these are things that students really enjoy. Again, it's an opportunity to really supplement what you're teaching in the classroom, having that career contextualized. It's just another tool in your toolbox to really help you be more successful with these adult education students and helping use a program that not only builds them up, gives them the skills that they need, but a great opportunity to earn a state-sponsored, nationally recognized credential. So it's so great for the student as well. So next steps. So I hope that a lot of your questions are, how do I get started? What do I do? Contact us. So if you have access to Florida Ready to Work and you're not using Florida Ready to Work right now, reach out to your customer success manager or reach out to me. Happy to get you connected. Happy to do another training, maybe a mid-year check. Adult education is year-round. So we don't stop for the summer. We want to come in. We want to help you. We can do hands-on training with your teachers. We can come into a classroom and model for you. Whatever works best for your team, we're willing to do it. Additionally, we try to offer webinars at minimum quarterly. We're trying to do that even more, but to really talk to educators about how to use the program with some real life examples on how to just really dig in and use the program with your students. So we've got a series going on right now, Unlock Your Students' Superpowers, or help them earn Florida Ready to Work credentials by the end of school. This is for a lot of our K through 12, our high school educators, but adult educators, I think you'll appreciate it as well, because we talk about how to do the program in 25 days and how to do the program in 15 days, how to do the program in 5 days. So if you're looking for just kind of some short-term solutions, we've broken that down for you, and we go through that in your program. Of course, if you have Florida Ready to Work and you're one of our super users, make sure you're talking not only to your students and teachers, but your business community. Your business community is asking for individuals who are prepared and ready for the workforce. And if you're using Florida Ready to Work, you can answer that call. So we highly recommend that you promote it on your website, you share it on social media when your students are getting their credentials. And if you need help with that, we're here and we're happy to do that. So please feel free to reach out. I am going to answer your questions in the chat now, but I want to leave this slide up here so you can see it. Myself, as I mentioned, I'm Tiffany Voss. I am in Tallahassee, and I cover the Panhandle. So anything from Jefferson County west to Pensacola, that's the area that I cover. So if you're in one of those areas, reach out. My colleague, Holly McFadden, is in South Florida, and she covers everything south of Orlando. Mary Ellen Batchelor is actually located in Orlando, and she takes our I-4 corridor. So if you're a little bit north, a little bit south of the I-4 corridor, she's right there working with you guys and able to do that. And of course, if you've ever heard about Florida Ready to Work, you've heard about Valencia Strouder. She's been with us since the inception of the program, and she's in North Florida, based out of Jacksonville, covering where I leave off in Jefferson County all the way down to Orlando. So here's all of our contact information. Please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm going to scroll back up through the questions, but please keep them coming. I love questions. I mean, there's so many of you guys today, so I want to make sure I get to all of them. Okay. Yes, the PowerPoint will be available. We got that one. So how do nonprofits access this for free? So we are available for free for nonprofits working for learners and job seekers here in the state of Florida looking to get career ready. Just depending on where you are, reach out to one of us and we'll get you started. That is something that's brought to you by the Florida Department of Commerce, and the state legislature funds the program. If you are serving individuals who live in the state of Florida, if you are a nonprofit that kind of works in Florida and another state, we can help you out with your Florida residents, but then we just need to chat with you about the folks not in Florida as well. Florida Ready to Work offers sponsorship to people from other countries. So if you're serving an individual that's in the state of Florida, we're happy to assist with that, but it is just for Florida residents when it comes to Florida Ready to Work. Win Learning has opportunities in other states as well that we're offering it. Florida Ready to Work is just the branded version of the Win Career Readiness system, and we're happy to offer that here in the state of Florida. So that is all the questions I see, but I am going to wait just another minute before we move to the next slide to see if there's any others. Yes, so I'm glad somebody mentioned Florida Department of Corrections. We actually are in the Florida Department of Corrections. This is Florida Ready to Work is a best practice to go along with Compass 180. It's a great opportunity for your students to develop those foundational employability skills before they return to the community. We highly recommend you using Florida Ready to Work, and we can come out into the prisons and do some hands-on training for you as well. You should have access to the program. We've gone through all of the opportunities to get it onto the computers within the prisons. But if that's not the case, just reach out and we can certainly connect you with the right person. Win Learning, we are the company that administers the Florida Ready to Work program on behalf of the state of Florida. So through competitive procurement, the Department of Commerce selected the Win Career Readiness system. We've branded it Florida Ready to Work for Florida users. In South Carolina, it's called something else. But that's just the programming and the folks who help assist you and do all of our customer service support as well. So that looks like all of the questions, but please feel free to send them. Of course, this is all of our contact information. Thank you so much. I cannot believe there's over 100 of you guys on this call. That is just so exciting. I love, hopefully, if you're using Florida Ready to Work, you learned something new today, maybe a new feature or a new tool. If you're new to Florida Ready to Work, hopefully you're super excited and a great opportunity to get involved and to use this program with the students that you serve. We'd love to help you. It's a great program, and we're so happy to be a partner with the state of Florida to bring it to you. Yes, you are right, Ms. Everidge. We are in the Workforce Readiness Program as well with FDC, and we're proud to do it and happy to do it. So hopefully you guys have all seen our contact information here. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. The presentation will be posted. I do want to give a final shout out. IPDAY is about to launch a Zoom poll. That is where you're going to give feedback on the content I provided today, kind of tell IPDAY if this is still what you're looking for. The QR code up here is an opportunity for you to tell Florida Ready to Work what kind of webinars you'd like to see. So I mentioned our Unlock Student Superpowers that we're doing right now. If you'd like to see some other online webinars provided by Florida Ready to Work, scan this QR code and let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Of course, please fill out the IPDAY feedback survey here on Zoom. We want to make sure that you guys are getting the content that you want from IPDAY. And I'd also like to give a shout out. The next IPDAY Wednesday webinar will be April 9th at 3 p.m. And it's going to be identifying authors' purpose and point of view and bias. So if you're interested in that webinar, be sure to reach out to IPDAY or visit their website. That's where you can sign up. And again, thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity. Again, I love talking to adult educators. You guys are doing God's work, and I just think it's wonderful programs that we have out there across the state the more I've learned about it. So if I can be of any assistance to you, if my team can be of any assistance to you, please reach out. We'd love to be a part of your program. Thank you so much.